It's last call at this festival of rugby on this fine evening in the Free State, where the final two matches of the Toyota Challenge Series of 2022 are about to be played. In the first of our two matches this evening, the reigning Currie Cup champions take on the red, white and blue. It's the Airlink Pumas versus the USA Falcons. The USA here preparing themselves for a repechage tournament in Dubai as they attempt to qualify for the Rugby World Cup after narrowly losing out to Chile. Here are some of the results from the Toyota Challenge Series this year. It's been truly entertaining. You see that really close score between the Pumas and the Western Province 15, who performed outstandingly. As for the emerging island side, they did outstandingly well while they were down here, managing to pick up wins against the Pumas as well as the Cheetahs and donating at least one of those victories to a local charity. So the visiting Irish and the visiting Americans in town, they were planned to have the Italians as well, but late pullout from the Italians meant that the Bulls had to fulfill some fixtures. And of course, as it always is in South Africa, the rugby community pulling together to make sure that these fixtures were fulfilled, and how crucial it is that these teams, especially the likes of the Pumas who don't have much rugby going on, get some game time in before the Currie Cup of next year. You'll see the only result for the USA Falcons on your screen from Friday the 14th of October. The Cheetahs running over the USA Falcons in the end. It was a competitive match in the first half as the Falcons scored two of their tries, courtesy of Martina and Fa'ana Schultz as well. But then the Cheetahs, of course, came roaring back on their home ground, showing the form that they wanted to show, of course, against the emerging Irish as they were frustrated out of that match. But really putting on a show, and the man of the match on that day was none other than Spec Magic Roscoe Speckman, who has made headlines by making a move to the Greek. It's going to be really interesting to see Spec Magic in the Poblo, as they call it there in Kimberley. So a couple of fans in the stands at Toyota Stadium. This Festival of Rugby has been bringing out the youngsters who have really been enjoying the rugby, especially that big win for the Cheetahs that you saw on Friday the 14th of October. But we do have some interviews that Mthunzi Mabeta, my co-commentator, conducted before the match. Let's have a look at what the coaches had to say.
Jimmy Stonehouse, Airlink Pumas head coach. Different purposes, different challenges for the different sides in this competition. How's it been for you so far?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you to the Cheetahs for inviting us here. They prepare in this challenge and they're going to play in intercontinental competition. We play for this. We don't play for money. We're not one of those lucky teams who can win the 250, but at least we can test a few new players, and then from here on, it's back to a pre-season.
A big game today. What are you expecting from the Americans? Also under pressure, they need to come up with a big performance as crucial as they go to Dubai. What are you expecting from them?
Yes, obviously they will want to take a win home. They changed the team immensely. I see it's quite a new team, so we don't know what to expect from them. But at least, we also want to win, and we'll give them a run for their money so they can qualify to the World Cup.
And an interesting off-season, some weeks off, a challenging one you probably haven't had before, but it's enough time for you to do some singing, of course. Looking forward to it?
Yes, obviously we've got a 2 week on and 1 week off, and then another 3 weeks and 2 weeks off. And yeah, I'm singing tonight at Staffy, so that's going to be amazing. And I'm looking forward to that as well.
So you're already enjoying it. Awesome to see. Thanks, Coach. All the best.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It's the USA Falcons head coach, Gary Gold. Last day of the Toyota Challenge for you. It's been a wonderful challenge, and of course for you, very crucial in terms of your trip off to Dubai. So far?
Yeah, it's been great for what we needed, which was game time, training time, time together. It's been an amazing exercise. 80 minutes of rugby against the Currie Cup champions now is going to be a good test for us, for our group of young guys that we've brought over from the States. So really excited for the challenge.
Speaking about young guys, you have some old mates now who've joined as well, and John Plumtree, great to see him. Mario Ledesma, of course, is in the mix as well. How's that been rubbing off on the players?
Oh, incredibly well. One of the important things that, we really have a responsibility towards our players is that, we really want to offer them world-class coaching. And over the last couple of months, for whatever reasons have happened in the world, those two good men have become available. So, I managed to get onto the phone to them, and, they very graciously gave up their time, and came to spend some time with us. And, it's interesting. You know, one of the challenges we do have in the States is that we've got a lot of young players, we've got a lot of young coaches as well. So a lot of the time you don't know what you don't know. So it's great to get good coaching in and different perspectives from around the world. And I think the guys have thoroughly enjoyed having them around.
Absolutely invaluable. All the best on your trip to Dubai, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Fudge. Appreciate the time. Thanks, guys.
Gary Gold providing the South African flavor in the USA Falcons side, well, at least on the coaching side. Gary Gold, of course, attended Wynberg Boys High and spent a long time in this country. Alongside me in commentary today, it's none other than Mthunzi Fudge Mabeto, who conducted those interviews. What did you gain from talking to those two coaches, Mthunzi?
Yeah, so interesting. Two coaches who really, you can see they've got the energy and sort of the ethos to be able to win over a change room. And Jimmy Stonehouse, well, they're the Carling Currie Cup champions. We've seen how they've been just progressing so nicely over the past 4 years. And Gary Gold with a huge challenge on his hands, and great to see how his social capital is so valuable, bringing in John Plumtree. And to take a look now at this USA Falcons side, some exciting players to have a look at. Caleb Geiger, fresh to the game, just played for 18 months, but a fantastic athlete, really competitive at baseball and American football. Angus McClellan will be really important with scrums. They struggled a little bit in their game against the Cheetahs. Duncan van Skalkwyk, a little bit of South African blood comes into the game. That number 10 position will be so important for them. Will they play a territory game? Will they try and get over the advantage line? They don't have the big inside center, but they've got Bryce Campbell, who really was good coming off, as he's got the captaincy armband. And Mitch Wilson, look out for him at the back. We took a look. It was great to see Mike Lowry and his performance against the Cheetahs, but great to see him. He's quite dangerous. Augsburger, very physical. Naso Kwekwe, very physical as well. Fana Schultz, the try scorer, he'll be dangerous. And Paul Lasiki, well, we know, mammoth of a man. Him coming on, especially with 20 minutes, I'm sure he'll be quite effective. The Pumas starting lineup, Corne Fourie, Jacques Momberg and Ich Prinsloo. Very good front row. Of course, we know they'll be attacking them at scrum time. They'll hopefully be getting a few wins. They've been the most impressive side for me throughout this Toyota Challenge. The Airlink Pumas, Andre Fouchier, dangerous 8th man, and then of course so much flair. Sebastian de Klerk, almost 118 meters gained in his last game. Devin Williams with that huge left boot. It makes it so easy, that territory game, and also counter-attacking as well. Alim Gijima is just going from strength to strength. The power of Lundi Msenge, and the captain, Tinus de Beer, who is just going from strength to strength, really asking some good questions and forcing some of the coaches of the higher levels to have a little bit of a look off of the bench. And Jezula, interesting to see how he goes. Etienne Yannicka, the Lion, always brings energy off the bench. So a really good challenge here against the USA Falcons with this Airlink Pumas side. Be an interesting one to see how it goes.
The Pumas, of course, they have a big job on their hands to take on that Currie Cup of next year. They're going to have a big target on their back from every single team, especially so the Griquas, who they beat in the final. And of course, the Griquas are coming up next on your World of Champions as the hosts. The Toyota Cheetahs take on the Windhoek Draft Griquas in the final match of the Toyota Challenge Series of 2022. That kickoff is at 7 p.m. this evening. So rugby entertainment all evening long, wherever you are. We hope that you enjoy. And if we have any American viewers about to watch your team take to the field, they played with pride in their first match and eventually overpowered by the Cheetahs, but they will have great hope that they can challenge this Puma side. But make no mistake, these Pumas are the Currie Cup champions for a reason. There's plenty of steel in this team, and in spite of the revolutions that Jimmy Stonehouse must undergo at the end of each season due to the lack of financial capacity for a team like the Pumas from Mpumalanga to hold on to those players and of course offer them European rugby, he has to get rid of his captain and more almost every single year. Willie Engelbrecht, of course, going to the Stormers and making his debut recently. Onto the field now come the Pumas, the Airlink Pumas, the pride of Mpumalanga, who raised the Currie Cup trophy just a few months back, and Tinus de Beer, who has stepped into the captaincy role with Willie Engelbrecht heading off to the Western Cape. It's going to be a really good match between these two. The Falcons look keen to run, and so do the Pumas. They're really enjoying the opportunity to play rugby, as you heard from Jimmy Stonehouse. And of course, Mthunzi, Paul Lasiki waiting on the bench for America. So we might well see that Nandolo-like center for the USA Falcons coming off the bench onto the field. He made a massive impact against the Cheetahs, very hard to handle, but he didn't last the entire match, faded away a little bit during the first half.
Yeah, Frans Steyn really went toe-to-toe with Lasiki, it was great to see. I think he's struggling with a little bit of a knee niggle, so we won't be seeing him in the Toyota Cheetahs game coming up next, but this should be a really, really good one. The USA Falcons desperate to get a result here. They need to at least show work ethic and give the coaches something to talk about, something to work on as they go to a crucial visit to Dubai in those World Cup qualifiers. Airlink Pumas, well, they just love playing the game and they'll chuck everything at you.
Tinus de Beer. Very well taken by the Falcons to start things off. Into the contact they go, the Airlink Pumas, keeping the Falcons on their 22-meter line. Over the top, Williams underneath this, as is de Klerk, pressed up against the touchline. The flag is raised. It will be a line out to the Falcons. Great pressure, great rugby.
That's a good exit. Well taken there, out of the air as well. Good little kick. Sebastian de Klerk, well, he just gets his toe on it, and you know what, not a bad result for them there. It was a little risky from him, passing it behind the back. Jacob Paper, our referee. One of the best in the world, Jacob Paper.
I mean, what absolute privilege to have him here covering this match. He's constantly on international duty, respected around the world for many a long year. Advantage to the Falcons, as breaking around the corner was Ryan Rees with Jacob Paper on the spot toward the penalty. Not a great start for the South African side.
Yeah, good little vision, trying to snipe on the blind side there. It was close, but there was a little bit of space. Ryan Rees showing the ball nicely. Early momentum for the Falcons. Some pressure on Caleb Geiger now.
Please, listen up. Keep the gap. You closed the previous one. Keep that gap. Come in.
Falcons carefully approaching this line out. They struggled at this set piece desperately against the Cheetahs. Had so much ball stolen. Tried to hit the front, and Mahoney unable to hold on to that, but the Falcons can still attack with their captain Campbell. Rees. Skip Geiger, and they get it. Tongawiya into the contact and away by Rees. Great hands from the Americans, and now finding gaps, muscling up in the contact is Martina. Driving towards the line. Is it held up over the line?
Goal on.
Well, that'll be a great frustration for the Falcons. They brought it close. If they could have just kept it in front of the line, they could have kept that attacking movement alive. Now it will be a goal line dropout.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of white line fever, but look, it's crisp, it's clean, really good passing, spot on with the time of the run, those dummy lines, really good. This is a fantastic cross-covering tackle as well from Diego Apolos. Lundi Msenge, so powerful, does well to hold him up, but that's a fantastic start from the USA Falcons.
Goal line dropout goes long. Underneath that was Martina. Bonasso into the contact. Rees. Ooh, that one's slipped through the catches of Venglevsky. Pumas failed to capitalize, and USA continue to hold on to possession. Short ball from Campbell. Slightly isolated here, the Falcons. The Pumas get no one to the breakdown. Rees clears. Venglevsky holds on to it this time. Rees plays it away. Heaved up by Duncan van Schalkwyk, and Sebastian de Klerk is watching this one go over the line quite easily from the Falcons. So we'll go back from whence the kicker kicked the ball. It's a Pumas put into the lineout.
Yeah, not a bad play there from the USA Falcons. They ran out of options. They're starting to ask really good questions. Just a meter off there. I thought the kick was sort of in the right area. Just a little bit too much on it.
The feed goes over the top from Momberg.
Cut from this player to the other player. Locked on from this player to this player.
I'm just trying to go for the Hail Mary, as it were. The Airlink Pumas. Things not really coming off for them so far.
Drop. I know it's wet, but they, soft. They got to get back up. They can't just stay there. Okay.
There's the overthrow, and you can see clearly there Labuschagne touching it first. So Great start from the USA Falcons, really applying pressure in all aspects of the game so far. Good carries, controlling territory and possession. The first 5 minutes of this fixture. Split the back line now. Most of them coming the short side. They've got a two-man overlap. A lot of work to be done now from Kwanda Dimaza, covering that blind side.
A penalty to the Americans. Great start so far, holding on to the ball almost exclusively. And even on the back of one of their errors, they win a penalty at scrum time as well.
That's great. Great scrummaging. Chance for Englowski. Brilliant. And, well, we know how good Prinsloo is. That's a fantastic scrummage. Jakub Paper in the right place, and he's given no choice. Goes straight down. Really good touch finder as well. And there it is. Just winning that bind, getting underneath Prinsloo. So another opportunity for them to strike. They had a line out almost in the exact same position. Number 10, Van Skalkwyk, to plan an attack.
Caleb Geiger hits the front of the line out. Mahoney, the recipient. They've done well, and away it goes from Duval. Hard to the line by Captain Campbell, and Reese frees the ball. Wonderful continuity as Tongawiya. The Pumas finally make their presence felt. Falcons still in possession.
Alim Gijima will do it all afternoon.
Reese, way to Meglevsky, always willing to carry in that first channel. Here's Reese again. They've been slowed down now, USA. Can they regenerate that momentum? They try to go up the guts of the Pumas defense. And now again, looking for those gaps. It's one of the try scorers from their other match against the Cheetahs, Martina Geiger. Powerful on the carry. Farid not obstructing. Wonderful hands from Campbell. They've created an opportunity, but it's a one-on-one opportunity, and Sebastian de Klerk makes his hit on Michael Duval. No questions asked from the talented number 14 for the Pumas. Often the number 13, and of course de Klerk, prolific try scorer in the Currie Cup campaign as McLellan carries it in. Keeping things moving well, Duncan van Skalkwyk in the number 10 jersey. A little knock on, and one of the first few errors that this American side have made of the 7 minutes and 15 seconds. They're going to have a scrum to the Airlink Pumas in their own half. It's a wonderful start from the American team.
Yeah, it really is. Paul Stubbs, Chelsea, Mahoney in picture, unable to hold on to it. But I tell you what, this is a very well-balanced approach. Staying frosty, the Airlink Pumas so far. Doing well. But how long can they hang in there for? Really good questions, playing it in the tight and really keeping the Airlink Pumas defense guessing as they spread it out wide. Good dummy lines. So far, it's all about the USA Falcons. What a start.
Boy. Set.
I'll scrum to the Airlink Pumas this time. We saw the success that the USA had on that first scrum, and of course a little bit of spy work Mtunzi as we arrived at the hotel. Today we saw the Americans doing a bit of training on the line out. Perhaps they had their mascot up in the hedge, that little bald eagle.
Yeah, they love an eagle out in the America. Possession 99%.
Wow.
Territory 72%, really in control, in the driver's seat of this fixture, the USA Falcons. Split the back line, looking like they're going to attack to give the fans something to smile about. Better from Prinsloo.
Cresswell, September, frees it from the base, and Tinus de Beer turns to the boot. After attracting the fullback out of position, it's Mitch Wilson who gets underneath it eventually and responds with a kick of his own. The USA Falcons playing the territorial battle right now, quickly taken by Devin Williams. De Beer's been charged down. Numbers of Americans in position to pick it up. It's Vengelevsky who takes it into contact. And the USA Falcons on the attack again. Van Skalkwyk. That one towed through by Lopetti. Cool and calm under pressure. The counter-attack is started by Msengan. Now the pass away goes to Diego Apollos. The Pumas immediately looking frantic on attack. Kwane Fourie keeps it moving to Tinus de Beer, hunted down behind the gain line. Big chance for a turnover for the USA, and that's exactly what they do. Great intent and hunger. Great tackle though by Kwanda Dimaza to alter the momentum of this match, slowing the ball down just slightly there, the Airlink Pumas, as we head into the 10th minute now of USA domination.
Well, we've got a game on our hands. Huge defense from the USA Falcons, really putting bodies in front of the Airlink Pumas. We know they love attacking, but the way they're reacting to players breaking through, Lundi Msenge did really well. Linking up with the Polis, but fantastic scramble defense. They just want to see some good rugby. So far, they've been in for a treat. USA Falcons back in possession of the ball now. They've split the backline, choosing to go left. See the players lining up outside Duncan van Schalkwyk.
Crouch. Fine. Sit.
Pumas having a dig at it now, but Ryan Reese wisely clears from the base. Bryce Campbell fires it back to his fly-off. Tough one to handle. Scrum to the Pumas.
Yeah, that's great covering. Crystal September does really well. It's a good move. They're over the advantage line. They can get even further over the advantage line with that inside pass, giving options to Bryce Campbell. Just allows the defense to think twice. Can't really shoot out of the line, and the advantage line then becomes ball carriers. See the management. Great story. Oscar Alvarez, who started playing rugby, manager of this USA Falcons side in the military in San Diego. There's the inside pass. Really good covering from Crystal September. Does his job to cover that inside ball beautifully.
Crouch. Fine. Sit.
An angle on the scrum before it begins. A real contest at scrum time. September clears to De Beer. Devin Williams. This is Apollos. Apollos trying to get it to the outside. That one slapped down in the tackle. Jaco Paper's asking the right questions.
Airlink Pumas really creating those one-on-one battles that you'd think they're trying to create, but Jaco Paper explaining that knock-on, and it comes from this USA Falcons defense. They're just spreading out wonderfully, working off the ball, working in unison, and Airlink Pumas struggling to find any space at all.
Okay, we've got the height sorted, so keep that. Control. Crouch. Fine. Sit.
It is all happening at scrum time.
Make it out 9.
What an arm wrestle. What an arm wrestle.
Pumas just beginning to advance as the ball clears, and Tinus de Beer fires away to Apollos. It's away to Devin Williams, and now to Clark. It's come sliding off the side of the boot, and had it not, Devin Williams was after that one.
Oh, what a hit from Mitch Wilson as well. And again, you see the work that they're doing. Great covering from the winger, Martina. Huge scrum. USA Falcons, how much they've improved on clearly Mario Ledesma, who, I mean, is an absolute legend. It's a big part of Argentina's legacy of scrummaging. Sebastian just can't execute. So still 0-0 on the board, but at least there's some smiles in the stands.
Indeed. Hit the front again, the USA. Siao Simaoni, the receiver, Van Schalkwyk to his back line. Big hits are coming in now. Ali Mgijima and the boys. Caleb Geiger has to go back and fetch this one
No
for
tackle, you can get up with the ball. Okay,
American
release
side, and eventually they do make it to ground. The defensive pressure of the Pumas affecting the starting point of this American side every time a penalty awarded in their direction. They'll be able to clear again.
And they needed that. That was a big moment for the Airlink Pumas, desperate to get their hands on the ball in the right part of the pitch, be able to piece together some phases, but again, it's a lapse of concentration in those areas. Pressure was applied nicely, keep a cool head, make sure that you get the outcome you need, but instead, USA Falcons get out of their half, have an opportunity to piece together some phases of play of their own, which they've done really well in this first 15 minutes.
Okay, we'll give it 30 seconds.
Unable to release those kinds of men. Williams at the back.
The pace of Devin Williams, truly remarkable when he does manage to unleash it. Scored a surprisingly small number of tries in the Currie Cup before the previous 2 seasons, but in this previous season, when the Pumas went all the way, he really started turning on the try scoring with consistency. But before that, my gosh, he's scored some screamers for the ages, and you can find the clips on YouTube. Devin Williams, he is a real athlete, a real ball runner. We're having a water break as there's some treatment for Angus McClellan of the USA Falcons, who plays for the Utah Warriors in Major League Rugby, making strides as Major League Rugby, and it's wonderful to see the game growing in the United States of America, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. And speaking about the game growing, I mean, Dimaza, what an asset he's been. The man in the background, Ali Gijima. An absolute wildcat, just throws himself into tackles, and it rubs off on the team, that desperation, that work rate, that work ethic. Sebastian de Klerk, I mean, how incredible has he been throughout this Toyota Challenge? So some names that are definitely putting their hands up in this Airlink Pumas side, as with this USA Falcons side. Very good performance from them so far. Marcel Brachy has been a servant to America, has been so good, and Paul Asiki, wow, what an introduction we had from him.
The front of the line out is what the Americans target again, and it's Ben Bonasso, this time the recipient. So they'll be overjoyed with the turnaround of events at line-out time compared to what the Cheetahs were doing to their line-out. But of course, just 16 minutes into this match, we'll see how the Pumas begin to respond. This rolling maul has been brought to a significant halt, and they've surrounded the ball, resulting in a change of possession. And the Airlink Pumas will have a put into the scrum, and they'll hope to hold on to the ball for some consecutive phases.
Yeah, they've got some really good defenders of the maul in that side. Wrestlers, you know, gentlemen who don't mind being on the floor. Corne Fari, Ichbrinslu, Malembe Mpofu, Shane Kirkwood, so good. And we had a bit of a mix-up with Siaosi Mahoney earlier. Big number 5, I believe his opposite number, his partner in crime, his lock partner Cam Dolan. Got them a bit mixed up, but been really good, Mahoney, so far.
Lads, we're wasting our time.
Getting the technique right
We got to get a bit closer.
with that more really good defense from the Pumas.
Of course, if you're wondering why Yaku Paper might be available for a match like this, Bloemfontein all of a sudden is the town that he calls home.
And yeah, well,
Crouch!
like you said, what a privilege to have him here.
Bind! Sit!
Oh, some ferocity in that scrum engagement. The battle not over at scrum time, and the Pumas now turning the screws and winning themselves a penalty advantage. September plays it away to de Klerk. Breaking off the scrum and trying for the turnover, Tonga Weir, and another penalty advantage on the back of that effort. And Porfu can't hold on to Beer, is in trouble.
Away from the ball, getting it.
Now this is a big opportunity for the Pumas. Nice little angle for Tinus de Beer. He'll try to get this at least into the 22. And maybe they'll set up a maul of their own. They'll be feeling themselves after that good maul defense. Good challenge awaits the Falcons now. Interesting to see if they choose to stay down and counter shove. If they try to lift Cam Dolan and Mahoney, go up for the contest. Michael de Waal, South African born as well, in there, quite tall. Good option.
Great take by the Airlink Pumas. They set the rolling maul. It's Kwanda Dimaza in the line out, and the number 7 now handing off to a second spear of the rolling maul. But that has been truly thwarted by the USA, but illegally so. The number 6 is Ben Bonasso has been singled out. Ali Mgijima dropping shoulders, and the palm as well. Good strong running. Ooh, can he hold on here? Malembe Mpofu, what a chance for Tinus de Beer. He's over the line. The Airlink Pumas score the first points of the match in spite of all the pressure which they've been absorbing.
No, just 6 in the side.
Caleb Geiger did so well to catch Mpofu. Good hands as well, a bit of a hot potato, but he controls. Can't believe he's found himself in a gap. And while Tinus de Beer always there in support. Good finish in the loose. USA Falcons unable to find themselves.
All clear, Papes, all clear.
Close those gaps. They've scrambled really well so far. Shane Kirkwood, good little options. It sucks in the players. Corne Fourie with a good line. Great hands from Mpofu. Beautiful little offload under the sticks. De Beer. Falcons just needed to be tight. You see how many players are beaten with those passes. Almost 6 players beaten. Caleb Geiger does well to catch, but there's no one on the inside. No one covering. Easy as you like, De Beer.
Easy as you like with the conversion as well. It's 7 points to 0. When you think of how hard the Falcons have been working to retain that possession up to 99% at one point and put the Pumas under pressure, it's just too easy for the Pumas to score there.
Yeah, they needed to communicate, the Falcons. They've done that so well. They've really spread out. They've watched their spacing on defense. They've worked off of each other very nicely, but just unable to spread out there. Too many players ball watching, getting sucked into that pod. And a good little pass from Shane Kirkwood to put away De Beer in the end.
Duncan van Schalkwyk of Rugby ATL, which is Rugby Atlanta. Sebastian de Klerk to Tinus de Beer, Williams all the way across field from the Airlink Pumas before it's carried into contact by Andre Verschier.
And use it. All available, 9.
FFS and number 8 is Verschier. Needs to translate the physicality which he imposed upon the Varsity Cup structures onto the Currie Cup level and beyond. Here is Devin Williams. The enormous left boot always clears the lines for the Pumas, and he's done it again. Up to and beyond the halfway line. In fact, USA will start in their own territory.
Airlink Pumas much better from them back in this game. Speaking of enormous left boots, I mean, Frans Steyn kicked what must be one of the greatest executions of the 50-22 right here on this pitch a week ago.
In it comes from Geiger, another successful line out for the USA Falcons, and do not underestimate just how much it'll mean to them to have that set piece working. So disruptive to their game. It led to that 53-25 loss against Free State. Here is Ryan Rees. Clear away, set the ruck slightly further away from the touchline. What's the approach from Rees now? Looks like he's setting up a contestable kick. Dancing on the borderline of offsides, the kick chase. Looks like Msenga's underneath that ball. Who's really look accomplished every time he has donned the pink jersey for this Mpumalanga Pumas outfit. Tinus de Beer with a cross kick that's also a contestable one, and Apollos is underneath this, but it's brilliantly taken by Mitch Wilson, the fullback position for USA, and Rees wants to start some running play from the halfway line. On the carry, Michael de Waal. Van Schalkwyk. Not the most American names you'll ever hear, those two. Now they move it again to Van Schalkwyk through the hands of Lopetti. Down towards the touchline, bouncing away from Tinus de Beer. And the game management of the USA continues to function at a high level early on in this match. Tinus de Beer happy to play that quickly. No line out formed, and Sebastian de Klerk looking to play from broken field. And here he comes, the number 14. He's got 2 defenders in front of him, not much support. And the pass out the back of the hand leaves much to be desired. Does not hit the target of Andre Verschier. Geiger dives on the ball to tidy up for the Falcons.
He's been good, Geiger.
He sure has. There's a chance for the kick over the top from Van Schalkwyk, but the chaser on the outside. Not really in motion was Chris Martina. Diego Apollos looking for a pinpoint kick of his own, and Apollos has pulled it off. Something special. Looks like a 50-22, in fact. The number 13.
It's a good one. It's a really good one. We saw Lopetti. It all started here. Quick take. Sebastian de Klerk. If he gets the ball, just know there's danger. He needed to react towards him. Mismatch with himself and Mahoney. Looks for support. Can't find the inside pass to Andre Verschier. But Caleb Geiger, who's really been everywhere. Great work rate from the hooker. Cleans up nicely.
Trick play off the back of that. Almost dummying a rolling maul, but the defense of USA solid as Cam Dolan makes the tackle. September. Kirkwood carries it in for the Pumas. Verschier waits. So quick to spread this USA defense. They're looking sharpish. Besides, of course, when they were cut open by that Mpofu run. Tinas de Beer switching sides. The offload now puts Dimasa into space. Can they clear this ball? The Pumas, look at the way they piled in there. September over the top.
Yeah, you don't see that often. Sebastian de Klerk. He's got that killer instinct when he's that close to the white line. Really lethal finisher. Good pass, good vision. Criswell September. So 135 meters gained against the Western Province 15, 9 carries, 4 defenders beaten. It just shows you how dangerous he is under a world of pressure. Starting to look a little bit weary, a little bit tired now. USA Falcons, they'll need to switch on. Big moment this in this first half.
Geiger sends one over the top. Now the Airlink Pumas committing a cardinal sin and letting the USA off so easily. Technical penalty.
Yeah, it's an advantage for the attacking side, that overthrow, because they know they're coming. They can get off of the line a little bit quicker, and unfortunately, it's mistiming at a couple of players, the words from Yaku Paper. So an easy exit, get out of jail free for the USA Falcons. Huge outcome from them. This should have been a try. There's no one there. You can see the USA Falcons had to go for the intercept. They were outnumbered, unable to collect the Klerk.
Love it from Yaku Paper. Knows how to keep the clock running.
Angus McClellan, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a battle at scrum time. It has been as well with their line-outs. Most of them being taken on the money ball. CLC, Mahoney. Caleb Geiger has been on target as well. So I'm trying to just slow it down a little bit. Getting closer to the end of this first half. So a big moment now, the USA Falcons. And they regain momentum.
Feed to the front again, down off the top from Bonasso.
Well, just when I mention it, you know, nothing quite breaks momentum, like those small, uncharacteristic mistakes. Wasn't the kindest of passes from the top to him, but just gets a little scrub of the head. And Duncan van Schalkwyk, he's looked sharp, he's controlled the game nicely, giving him options, picking out the right options as well. This is a good take, difficult one, Ryan Reese, but he'll be saying if he can touch it, he can take it.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
The struggle continues at scrum time, and this time it's the USA
Brilliant.
striking back.
Brilliant. And that's what they need to do as well. Well, clearly Angus McClellan got a little bit of energy there. It was his last one of the game, but a very important moment. They trail by 7 points. They've had their opportunities They've been dominating play this first 28 minutes. They've just been testing each other with the scrum. We've seen a really good arm wrestle, each side having a penalty, each side having it go their way, but huge work as well from Chance van Glubski. Brilliant technique, his body shape, the way he's powering through ankles, knees, hips, spine onto those shoulders. Great scrummage, an important one.
It's time to execute for the USA Falcons. Geiger feeds the front, and once more rising with strength is Siaosi Mahoney. Played off the back to the captain Campbell carrying, and Reese sends it away to Tongoia. Reese, quick ball now around the corner. Bonasso taking on Ngijima, shooting out of the line, disrupting the attacking momentum. He's a real handful, the number 12. Reese plays again to the right. Captain Campbell carries in, not peppering any holes in this Pumas defense on that blind side. Now they head to the open with Tongoia, Van Schalkwyk, Dolan. Reese to Van Schalkwyk. De Waal, big number 8, born in Cape Town, carries it in. That is a strong tackle on McClellan. He's already been treated twice on the field. It's the player that Yaku Paper warned. If he goes down again, they won't stop the line out for the big number 3. On the carry now, Siaosi Mahoney. Schalkwyk. Outside center, Lopeti feeding the last pass. Tongoia. 13 phases now for the Falcons, and it certainly feels that way as they begin to move laterally. Go back for that penalty advantage. The temptation for the quick tap. The Pumas slow to get back. But they slow it down. Point to the posts, it would appear.
Yeah, man, look, I think that's brilliant play from them. Not too predictable, changing from side to side. Great work from the cleaners. Really latching onto the ball carrier, good shape. And the Pumas had no choice but started to fan out. And that's what you want to do. You build the phases, applies pressure, frustrates the defense. And especially when you're moving backwards, with that work ethic to get it over and recycle. Very, very good. Shane Kirkwood just coming off sides. There he is, a bit too keen, trying to stop them. And look at the different options USA Falcons use. They're looking very sharp. This is a great performance from them, and I like how they're just respecting the opposition, taking the points on offer. Duncan van Schalkwyk.
Clean strike from Van Schalkwyk. The first 3 points for the USA today, and it's 7 points to 3. They trail the Airlink Pumas.
This is good play from the Falcons. Remember, it's also very tiring playing against a side that can retain the ball so well. Here we see some of the Windhoek Draft Griquas players getting ready, getting a feel of the atmosphere.
Tinus de Beer, Titan of Tux Rugby, sends it deep. Running back at them, Chris Matina. Reese running the show from the number 9 position. Geiger plays the blind for the Falcons. Bringing Reese tighter up against that touch line. He wants to kick towards Williams underneath it, out into touch. It will be a line out to the Pumas.
Ryan Reese, well, I'll tell you what, the reason they've been playing such a good territory game is because of that man. His box kicking has just been pinpoint, very accurate, and again, a very good exit all the way up to the halfway line. See most of the action, 73% of it happening between the two 10 meters. So in this position we're at right here, almost exactly on the halfway.
Fired into the Maza from Jacques Momberg, and the Pumas make it work. Ngijima does the hard work in the midfield. September, the ball was quick. That pass was flat, to say the least. Knock on comes. We're going back for the penalty. But the Pumas just really
Back on side, 14 blue.
striving as hard as they possibly can to get into their stride here this afternoon. But this USA defense and energy and ball possession has been stymieing them.
Yeah, good tackle there from Van Schalkwyk on the powerful Alim Kijima. Great line. Cornerstone for he just can't hold on to it, and he's got really good hands. Not just for a prop, for a rugby player. And unfortunately, Connor Mooneyham under pressure shoots offside. So Dennis de Beer looking for a touch finder, gets a useful one. And with just about 6 minutes left of this first half, the Airlink Pumas will look to score their second try. But it's been a battle, it's been an arm wrestle at the rucks, in the scrums, and in the mauls. The Airlink Pumas choose to go for the mauls. They've called a short line out now. Andre Foucher, who's a huge carrier, standing just on the inside of Dennis de Beer.
That was not very straight from Monberg. On we go, and Jacques Monberg chopped down at the knee. September plays free to Dimasa. September, you can feel the energy increasing from the Pumas now, but this USA defense continues to shoot up with great passion.
Release
Here's Mpofu made that difference for the Pumas try, punching a hole in that line. September sends it free once more to Ich Prinsloo. September. Fouchier on the carry. Got man and ball. Charging tackle from Tongawea. September slowing things down now, the Pumas.
Off the foot, no hands.
To find a way through with more muscle than guile, but now it's out to Tinus de Beer trying to break through his tackle. De Beer runs out of support on the outside.
First man in. Leave it, you're off.
The Falcons get the job done in the end. Under tremendous pressure, getting in over the ball. What a play that was.
Yeah, brilliant. Bryce Campbell, the captain, with the turnover. Ryan Rees closing down Tinus de Beer. What a wonderful defensive read that was from Rees.
Lost forward.
Lost forward, and the Airlink Pumas now with Sebastian de Klerk in full flow. This is dangerous business for USA, and it's a second try for the Pumas. Doesn't he just deserve it? Lundim Senge, he's in for a fiver.
Alim Kijima, he's dangerous, puts in the shoulder. He's been so strong on defense, but he's been running some good lines as well. And Lundim Senge, the winger, finishing off very nicely. Really good hands there, good interplay. You see the patience from Sebastian de Klerk, just showing his quality as well, not getting ahead of himself. Very unselfish from him, especially someone who we know can back himself. So it was a good turnover. They chose to just take it forward a little bit, work on their angle before they exited. Unfortunately, it went wrong. Knock on. Here's Sebastian de Klerk just looking for support. Good covering there from Lopeti. He's been quality, and Lundim Senge with a fantastic support line. Good skills.
Easy one again for Tinus de Beer. Brilliant try in the end for the Pumas, pouncing on their opportunity, but they've been showing that they've got the keenness for that. This USA keeping the ball out of their hands. One last look at the try here.
An unfortunate one. Hooker on hooker. Jacques Momberg does so well. The ball pops out. The danger man has the ball. Good covering from Lopeti, but take a look at that. Mkijima to his left winger, Msange.
Duncan van Schalkwyk sends it long. Sebastian de Klerk receives. Tinus de Beer to clear. Underneath this, just keeping it in, Mitch Wilson. Dynamic runner as Wilson, and always keen. Mpofu affects the tackle. Rees away to Mahoney. Van Schalkwyk sends it wide. A penalty advantage for USA, which will be music to their ears, especially once the turnover is completed.
And especially when you've got 2.5 minutes left of the first half. I think they deserve a try, don't they? They played most of the rugby. They played a really good brand of rugby as well. The right decisions. Lopeti's been impressive. So has Van Schalkwyk, so has Rees. Mitch Wilson as well, just a few unfortunate mistakes at the wrong time. But they've got 3 points on the board. This time they go from touch, for touch. Just about 7 meters out. Mr. November, touch judge. So must score, you'd have to think. They need that mental edge going into the cloaks. Geiger will be under pressure. Shane Kirkwood looking to go up. Mahoney's been really solid in the front.
Cap's good.
Caleb Geiger. USA Falcons nail it again, and they have a wonderful place to start a rolling ball from. Geiger in the back. Is he in control though? Has some support around him now. The Pumas defense is still operating in the land of legality. Reese fires away to Van Skalkwyk. It's going to have to be magical work here from the number 11, and Martina is hunted down by another fine piece of work from Lundi Msenge, who along with Ali Mgijima is lighting it up in the back line for the Pumas.
No, they really are. Look, really good play again. Good dummy lines. Reese crisp passing, taking it, running onto it nicely. And Martina, look at the read from Lundi Msenge. Keeps his eyes on the man. Brilliant IDing. That's just fantastic winger defense from Msenge, the try scorer. And Martina, maybe in 2 minds, needed to hold on to it there, go to ground as soon as he could. Try to recycle.
Okay, all good. Warm it up. Yes.
So just that last pass not going the way of the USA Falcons. Still under pressure though, the Airlink Pumas. We're desperate to exit here. Had a wonderful battle at scrum time. Will this first half end off on the same note?
Point. Sit.
Here we go.
Solid.
Both sides holding firm as the Falcons try to advance. For sheer breaks from the back effectively. That's the hooter in the background, and surely Tinus de Beer will kick for touch here. Sebastian de Klerk always ready to have a go. Just couldn't hold on the touchline. Devin Williams inside. This side loves to electrify throughout the season. They showed just that in the Currie Cup, and they always bring their A game, and they brought just that here to the Toyota Stadium in Bloemfontein for the Toyota Challenge Series' final day, where they head into the change rooms with a lead, but they will be concerned about the amount of challenge that they have been posed by the USA Falcons. It should be expected from an international side preparing for a shot at the World Cup as they're about to head up to Dubai for that repechage tournament after this match. This their last preparation. Half of their squad is also in Uruguay, but they're out here on the field, and you can see the unity of Gary Gold's men as he returns to his homeland. So at halftime, it is the Falcons who trail at halftime to the Airlink Pumas by 14 points to 3. Join us for the second half.
Oscar, can I film him here?
This is the Toyota Challenge Series of 2022 here in Bloemfontein, and we're looking at the match stats from the first half. And Tunzi Fajmabeda, take us through those numbers.
Yeah, well, you can just see they're under pressure, the Airlink Pumas. 7 penalties conceded. Haven't enjoyed the lion's share with possession. Territory as well controlled by this USA Falcons side that has been very, very impressive. They don't have the likes of Marcel Braching, but they've been led from the front by Bryce Campbell, who's done so well. Look at the discipline, just 2 penalties, 5 handling errors. So unfortunately, those 4 of them happened in positions where they could have scored some points. So unfortunately, unable to come away with the try in that first half, but a really impressive first half for the USA Falcons. 2 soft moments, weak moments under pressure with the Airlink Pumas. Is just 2 visits to the green zone, the USA Falcons 22. And they're so dangerous, they converted that pressure into points through some really silky smooth handling.
A lot of positives for Gary Gold to take away from this game, but as you said, those weak moments in defense, for all the good you do in attack, that could just destroy your World Cup hopes when you're playing up there in Dubai in that repechage tournament. But here are the highlights of the tries that have come today and those weak moments you were talking about.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mismatch. Caleb Geiger finds Malembe Mpofu, but unfortunately he's broken through the line, and good support line on the inside from De Beer. But you can see them getting beaten with numbers by the pass. This was the second one, another soft moment. Good turnover from the captain, Campbell, but it popped out with Geiger trying to take it one phase before they exit. Sebastian de Klerk, composure, and Alim Gijima, who's been a real firecracker in this game, releases Msenge.
And on the other hand, of course, from the USA Falcons, the Pumas side will be looking to really unshackle themselves, as they don't have so many opportunities to play high-level rugby matches before they get back into their Currie Cup next season. So here in Bloemfontein at halftime, it is the Pumas who lead by 14 points to 3 over the USA Falcons, who have been game today, and they'll be hungry for tries in the second. Stay tuned. Bloemfontein is the venue, the Toyota Stadium, the proud home of the Toyota Cheetahs, who will be taking on the Griquas. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. tonight. This, the first of the two matches coming your way, and it is the Airlink Pumas, the Currie Cup champions of South Africa, taking on the USA Falcons, who have split their squads between half of their squad going to Uruguay and half coming here after they got a late invitation to join. And so Gary Gold recognizing the opportunity of coming to South Africa at a similar altitude and also in line in terms of time zones with Dubai as they prepare to head out to that repechage tournament to decide if they will make it to the Rugby World Cup in 2023, where they will be playing against the likes of Portugal, Kenya, and the loser of an Asia Pacific playoff. And the reason they're going to play in that game is because they lost narrowly to Chile, 52 points to 51, over 2 legs, an aggregate score of 52-51, and Chile dramatically qualifying for the Rugby World Cup of 2023. So America still have it all to do, and some of these players will be part of that squad that attempt to achieve that lofty goal. And they're going well so far, aren't they, Mtunzi? In the first half, they've improved a lot of the errors that they had against the Cheetahs, but there will still be some deep and meaningful concerns.
100%, Paul Stubbs. It would be absolutely amazing to have them at the World Cup. I mean, I'm sure every single South African and American as well can remember when Ngwenya, a speedster, just like Mitch Wilson, skinned Brian Urbana, one of the quickest in the world. So he's been really good. 9 tackles made, meters carried 27, and 3 carries. So he's been really good, Mitch Wilson. So solid on defense as well. I think that's been a great characteristic. Just soft moments that could come with experience. So many of these players a little bit inexperienced, of course, of the USA Falcons. Gary Gold mentioning that. But they are the better of the two sides in that first half, although they are trailing by 11 points.
Duncan van Schalkwyk sends it deep once more for the USA Falcons. That has been their want tonight to send it long. Not a contestable one from the restarts. The response from Tinus de Beer is strong, well beyond the halfway line, and the USA Falcons will have to start from their own territory.
Yeah, the USA Falcons, unfortunately not the wider players outside center, Lopeti and Mitch Wilson, who worked back nicely, just not allowing an option for Duncan van Schalkwyk, so they take the line out. Quick throw was on though.
Geiger, you could see him wincing as he put that ball into the line out. And finally they get one wrong.
Scrum taken.
Cam Dolan.
I don't know, Paul Stubbs. I don't know about that. I think Jaco Paper, he never gets them wrong. I don't know. I think that one's just a little bit stingy of Jaco Paper there. I think Geiger, he's been very accurate throughout the game, and that one, it's good footwork, really good lifting. They've been solid with their lineouts. 10 out of 10 lineouts. They've taken 1 scrum from them as well. We know how important a set piece is, especially when you're playing to make it into the World Cup, and that will be a big box that they've ticked here.
Fine. Sit.
Corne Fourie getting stuck in along with his front row. No penalty advantages coming off the back of that. Mgijima keeps hitting the mark tonight. Tinus de Beer, the captain of the Pumas now, carries it in. Here's de Klerk. Tackle from Tavite Lopeti. September moves it away to Edwan Swart, who celebrated a birthday just yesterday. September moves it to Tinus de Beer. Oh, an accidental high shot perhaps on the way down. Play on is the call, and fighting to hold on to that. Jaco Labuschagne fearlessly into the contact. The penalty advantage waits Martinez de Beer with the quick hands, and Gijima moves it on to Dimaza. Dimaza can't get it up off the ground, but the Pumas looking dangerous. September sends it to Apollos. The Pumas, the side starting off the second half, building up the phases. Just as I say that, Jean-Andre Leonard unable to hold on to the ball, going back for that penalty advantage.
That was on the impressive Geiger, who needed to roll out of there east to west, not north to south. He's been
Too long.
really good. He just unfortunately didn't react quick enough. That's the call from Jaco Paper, saying he stayed too long. But look at the discipline from this USA Falcons side. In that first half, just giving away 3 penalties, 7 to the Airlink Pumas. So you can see the scoreboard not really telling the true tale of this fixture. We'll take a look at that knock on.
Open up, please.
Just can't hold on to it there. Jean-Andre Leonard.
The feed is good. Shane Kirkwood in the center. The Pumas set their rolling maul. The formation still strong, breaking from the back and heading for the line. Edwin Swart, Jaco Paper is awarded the try. 3 tries to none for the Pumas.
Eddie Swart, fresh legs. Had 1 or 2 bollocking, bulldozing runs. Met solidly though from this USA Falcons defense. Really working well. But the one-on-ones, that's where you want Eddie Swart. He's so powerful, good low body position, drives through the tackle. And you mentioned it was his birthday. Well, what a way to celebrate. Within the first 5 minutes or so, good. Finds Shane Kirkwood. This is initially a very good counter shove from the USA Falcons. The arm wrestle continues, and that's a mismatch. Gets underneath Reese. Drives those legs. Reese, no ways he's going to stop Swart.
Martinez de Beer spent all of his youth rugby with the Bulls. Of course, stacking up the points for Tuks. Oh, he's completely hooked that De Beer. Not a great strike at all from the number 10. He'll be disappointed. Scoreline remains as is, 19 points to 3.
Alim Gijima with the high fives. This was solid. Shane Kirkwood, good movement, good little place. You can see the forwards of the USA Falcons committing to trying to stop it, but it's good patience, solid work from the lifters, and Eddie Swart picks his moment.
Change of approach at kickoff time for USA, and they just can't get it back. Great effort though, the Pumas. Great effort similarly on defense. They secure possession, and now Ich Prinsloo sets the breakdown slightly further away from the touchline. September taking his time, making sure he has protection to launch this contestable kick, which Msenga is after, and once again the impressive Mitch Wilson does his duty. Ryan Reese sends it free. Lopetti in the back line, constantly trying to make the difference. Martina. Oh, that's a good strong run from Tongoia. Oh, they just can't hold on to possession, and the efforts of this American side seem to be waning as the match wears on. It's a real worry for them if fitness is a problem. Here is Devin Williams, who gets it away to September, almost found a gap of his own, shut down by Ben Bonasso. Fighting on the ground, but was he on his feet? Turns out no. Michael Duval, formerly of Pretoria Boys High, a place you know pretty well, Tunzi.
Yeah, very impressive school. Of course, some legends have been there as well. John Smith, Brian Liebenberg ended up playing for France. And Duval, he's been good for the USA Falcons. Hasn't really seen much action. Great silky smooth skill there from Devin Williams. He's over the advantage line. There's Duval. He's off his feet. He's good. He gets there first. He can have a go for it, but as soon as he's off his feet, he has to let go of the ball. For all the youngsters out there, They love their rugby here, of course, Craig College being just down the road.
Of course, they know the Cheetah Joel is about to take place. Kick-off at 7 p.m. against the Griquas. Kirkwood again. Successful lineup. They've lost the ball. I'm not sure any of them were aware. Oh, the celebrations from the USA Falcons side. The defense of that rolling maul. Big stuff for the team in blue.
Yeah, that's important. You know, I don't think you didn't come here and play these friendlies or exhibition games, you know, for nothing. They've got their eyes on the prize. Don't focus on the scoreboard. Focus on your systems. And it's good to see them just staying into the game. That's a brilliant counter shove again. Remember your systems. Keep reminding each other. Celebrate the small victories. And keep ticking those boxes. Really good performance for them against the Currie Cup champions, especially in the set pieces.
Approach. 5. Set.
Great scrum from the Pumas, but they're walking around the corner. The penalty goes against, and this battle at scrum time just continues in the second half. I'm loving it.
And break foot back as well.
Yeah, that break foot, really difficult for inexperienced hookers to get right.
Yourselves now. Still values in this game.
Ow, Yaku Paper.
Well, what can you say? Yaku Paper loves a good chirp, doesn't he? And he's explaining to the young Falcons that values in this game.
Break foot into.
Good to see the fans coming in.
Die eerste ding en toe kan ek hulle nie stop.
They love their hunting out here, of course, in Bloemfontein. Love their farming. Caleb Geiger, 8 months in the game.
Pressure on this line out. They hit the front again. It's a contest there, but Siaosi Mahoney is a real weapon at line-out time. Bryce Campbell, the captain, has been strong on the carry in that 12th position, and now trying to exploit a half gap was Mooneyham joining the line. Haven't seen much of the 48.
Oh.
Here comes Mitch Wilson with a strong shoulder, moving the Americans forward, and the Pumas defense on the scramble just for a moment. Can the Americans capitalize? Mitch Wilson involved again. Have to keep their wits about them now as Ryan Reese sends it away to the ever-impressive Mahoney, who's been good on the carry as well. Seen plenty of Tavita Lopetti as well for the Americans. Reese wants quick ball, but this has been a trend of the Americans. They'll go in bursts, but then they'll be slowed down eventually by the consistent defensive pressure of the Airlink Pumas. Here's Campbell.
Yeah, their cleaning technique, though, has been very impressive. They're getting over the advantage line. Their patience has been really good. But for me, this is where it stays a little bit too long. And that's brilliant from Geiger to try get that quick ball. That's all they need now, the USA Falcons. And, well, as I say that, they just get ahead of themselves perhaps a little bit there. But that, again, very impressive phase play.
1, 2, and 3.
That's their 4th time they've gone over 5 phases. The Pumas, on the other side, the champions of the Carling Currie Cup, have only done it twice. So it shows you the kind of quality that they're playing. Here come the substitutes, the fresh legs, the big boys.
Right, here we go.
Fawcett is on the pitch. He was really impressive. Chance Wenglowski, brilliant scrumming from him, especially against the quality of Ich Prinsloo and Corne Ferry. I mean, they gave the emerging Irish side so a really big struggle, a really good challenge here at the Toyota Challenge. And Angus McClellan as well off the pitch. Nate Sylvia on. And Fakaosi Pifeletti. So will those fresh legs have an impact? They're going to get a turnover. This will be a good one to have. And great stuff. Caleb Geiger, can you believe he only started playing rugby 18 months ago of Rugby New York? Linking up very nicely with the Irish-born Dylan Fawcett.
The Pumas absorb the pressure and respond. They get the penalty advantage on the back of it, but Devin Williams is looking to create an attacking opportunity out of this. Advantage over as Msenga is chasing after that one. Mitch Wilson with the pickup and attempts to begin the counter-attack. That's a rough pass. Very difficult for Chris Martina to deal with. The turnover was good. And on the outside now, the Pumas have an easy one. It'll be heartbreak for the USA, but Forfaiture celebrations as those wearing pink jerseys have a fourth try to their name, capitalizing on all the errors presented to them by the side in blue.
Yeah, Etienne Jeneka keen to come on. Also Juice Gumede and Andre Forfaiture, well, been a star of Pumas, star out here in the Free State as well, plays so hard. So good for the Eagles, and well, there's the golden shot, Gary Gold. And now this is what the Falcons need to focus on. Don't focus on the scoreboard. You mentioned heartbreak. They have no time to be having their hearts broken. They need to focus on the positives. Mario Ledesma has had some really good boxes ticked in terms of the set piece, especially the scrum, and try to keep to their systems and take as much out of this opportunity before they go up to Dubai as possible. And for me, so far so good. Don't focus on the soft moments. It isn't a great definition of the game that they've been having, and it'll be a tragedy if they're unable to keep that positive energy going.
Tinus de Beer raises the flags. Good clean hit, flat trajectory. 2 more points on the board for the Pumas.
They've had a challenge, the Airlink Pumas, and you know what, if they can keep their mind about them, this USA Falcons side, if they can just find an extra gear, especially with the bench on now, they might actually maybe take this one right to the end.
Long restart again from Duncan van Schalkwyk, and the response from the Pumas sees the USA Falcons starting from deep. Van Schalkwyk tries to get it back to Wilson. They're taking chances now. The USA playing a completely different game than they did in the first half, and you're seeing the repercussions of those opportunities at the back that they're choking up to the Pumas. De Beer sends it to Apollos, long one, and there's trouble on the outside. That pass too early surely from Devin Williams, gets it back on the inside, but it comes to naught in the end. A scrum advantage to the USA Falcons.
That's holding.
Well, the work ethic's still there for the USA Falcons. That's fantastic to see. Brilliant cross-covering tackle from Ben Bonasso. Applying some good pressure. Airlink Pumas players were forced to try and offload infield, intelligently using the touchline. Bonasso.
Yeah, you can come by half, but you're going to go back.
Long pass, Devin Williams on the trot. Gives it to Msenge nice and early, but great commitment shown there. Connor Mooneyham doing so well. So's the number 6, Ben Bonasso.
Crouch. Fine. Sit.
These two packs are at it again, with the new front row for the USA crumbling in the end, but Reese sends it free to his captain Campbell. Reese showing greater ambition from deep. That clear out. Those are the kinds that sometimes the TMO picks up on.
Use it now.
And it was a good one again. Getting off Swart, they needed to.
Reese sends one over the top. And the chase is on from Mooneyham, but Msenge continues to display professionalism under the high ball. And Msenge takes it to ground. Snyman, who's come on in the halfback position. Tinus de Beer with an expansive pass to Labuskachny. And on the outside, Devin Williams sends it to Apollos.
Coming back. That clean out, just lifted the legs above the horizontal. Thank you. Confirmed.
Yep, so very silly one to give away. It's so easy when trying to get someone off the ball to lift those legs.
Let me explain.
Above the
That clean out,
horizontal.
lifting legs above the horizontal, sorry.
Number 16.
16.
That's the butcher, Dylan Fawcett. Needed to just grab, as soon as you grab onto the legs, in fact, at a ruck, you best thing you can do is just start pumping your legs forward, trying to drive through the opposition's hips. So easy when lifting a player who's latching onto the ball, trying to perform a jackal. So simple, so easy to go sideways and easy for those legs to go over the horizontal. And with player safety,
Yep, new player.
very
Build up
important to keep that in mind. So the Butcher Fawcett, also of Rugby New York. Just getting it wrong that time.
18 caps for the United States of America. Dylan Fawcett has. Went to Blackrock College in the United States of America. Some outstanding names of rugby teams have been come up with for Major League Rugby. Like
Yeah,
the
you've
Free
gotta love
Jacks.
it.
Pick up. Yep.
The feed into the line out
Ball to the
comes from
front.
Swart Dimaza once
shift of the
again.
ball
The
to the
decoy
front.
set for the rolling maul. And here they come again. Breaking away was Corne Fari. Jacques, rather Yaku Papers, going to head upstairs
Okay, we're going to clear that.
to make sure there was no possible obstruction.
Going on.
Yes, Jakub,
Just clear that try for us, please.
we will do so.
On-field decision is no try. Darren's got to knock on before he grounds it.
Interesting.
Pipes on the screen now.
Having that
There's a shift,
option
but the
is
ball's at the front
Dimaza
there. So that's all good.
handy.
Player breaks away. There's the roll there, is he?
Yeah, we'll play it again for you. Just give us one more go.
Look
He's
how
holding
quickly.
the ball, so he's got to. And he rolls it together there.
Yaku Paper,
Person's just
brilliant.
in the middle there. He rolls it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he rolls it. He rolls it forward.
No. No try. It's a fumble. Very good call.
Oh. How he sees that eagle eye like.
Well, you said that the call came from Darren, that being Darren Colby, one of the assistant referees here today,
No,
along
he
with
just knocked
Dylan
it straight.
November. Although, of course, a student not only of the laws of the game, but a student of the laws of the nation, Yaku Paper also being
Yeah, sure.
a legalese, a practicer of the law.
Yeah, and great to see Darren Colby getting the call there from Yaku Paper. Just a little nod, good call. Called it on the spot.
Hook is in.
Good communication. Great to see that turnaround being speedy. See more rugby. Not too much time out in the TMO box, but
Very soft.
really good from the touch judge and the referee Yaku Paper.
Good height. It's soft. Crouch. Bind. Sit. Ball out.
Some ascendancy for the side in pink, but the pressure not turning into a penalty, and the USA able to clear their lines, but it's becoming painfully clear, Mtunzi, that this Falcon side is feeling the pressure now, and the Pumas just have the capacity to keep on raising the level.
Well, you know, for me, Paul Stubbs, you mentioned raising the level. I'd like to see them start lifting some of their contestants, some of their jumpers in that line out. They've chosen to go for the counter shove, which has worked well for them, but so useful to have a jumper. And here, Mahoney looks like he might. Good option at the back, well executed by the Pumas.
Free attempts to get it away, the desperation of the Butcher on the ground.
First one, not on the ground. On the player that carried it, then forward of the arm.
Almost winning back possession for his side, but
Agreement there.
just looking at the posture of some of these American players, they've given plenty out there in Bloemfontein today, and if the weather conditions are troubling for them, Dubai is not going to be much easier, that's for sure.
Yeah, master stroke, absolute master stroke. Gary Gold bringing his troops out here. Giovan Sneeman comes on for the very impressive Criswell September in that first half especially. But speaking about Gary Gold, John Plumtree, good. They'll definitely take from this experience and definitely relish the challenge.
Sit.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, Paul Stubbs. Brilliant.
Oh, it's the good stuff here today. Tunzi, I think we should have got Hanyani Shimangi in for this match. Because the scrums are what we need to talk about. Ich Prinsloo walking in the opposite direction. That's not what they teach you at Grey College, to go back with the scrum time like that. But the Americans have brought the heat at scrum time today.
They really have, and you can see Mario Ledesma has done some fantastic work with this front row. The technique, the bind, it's been really good throughout this game. The consistency as well from the starting lineup and the bench. Ich Prinsloo is no slouch. That there is pure dominance. Look at the pressure coming from the opposite side.
Are they all done?
Really good work. Nate Sylvia, Pifeletti, powerful,
Okay.
flanking the Butcher, Fawcett. Almost 7 minutes since we saw the last score, and to be quite honest, the Airlink Pumas have been scavenging off of the Falcons' mistakes. Need to be a little more clinical.
Fawcett feeds the line-out trick play to the front, and the USA secure possession. Great leg drive into the contact from Sylvia.
Back feet.
Now looking like he's shaping up for a box kick. Reese, precisely what he does after it is Mooneyham. Msenge comes in with full fire. How did he pull that off, Mooneyham? Ridiculous hands from the number 14 to get that pass away. It breaks down in the end for the scrum, but that play in the air, something
First
special.
one was back of you, and then the second one was this one.
Not easy performing the box kick.
No.
Tell you what,
First one was back
Reese,
of blue, then the second one was forward.
really doing well. It's a good chase. It's nice and contestable. That's an opportunity they lost.
No, first one's back
Ben
of blue,
Bonasso
and then the second one is of you. Let's go, lads.
unable to find support.
And less control over that than I presumed did Connor Mooneyham. Just great contest in the air, but Lundi Msenge continues to shine in the number 11 jersey. Hero of varsity rugby, of course.
And they've got the ascendancy at scrum time as well. So although the result didn't go their way with the box kick, there's a secondary opportunity.
Fine.
Just want a tight head.
Sit.
Fashia breaks off the back, gets it away to Snyman. Gets it back from Vian van Niekerk on the loop. An elaborate move from the Pumas sets Sebastian de Klerk free, and the pass around to the outside to Williams, who's turning on the afterburners. Fires it back to the inside to Gio van Snyman. Back once again to Williams. Into the corner. That's real Pumas rugby right there.
Yeah, great to see it. Hear the crowd as well. Really enjoying that sweet little 1-2 between the skill and the absolute blistering speed of Devin Williams. Martina has had a tough day out there. Chris Martina going up against some really dangerous runners. Sebastian de Klerk, who arguably has been the most dangerous strike runner in this Toyota Challenge. Brilliant switch with Devin Williams, just so skillful. Martina won't catch Williams. Good pass on the inside. Giovan Snyman keeps his depth, reloads and finishes in the corner. Beautiful rugby.
Martinez de Beer, the Waterkloof boy, with perhaps his most difficult kick of the evening, certainly his most difficult kick of the evening. Right from the corner. De Beer drops it over. Brilliant kick from the Pumas number 10. It's 33 points to 3 in spite of all the great efforts from this USA side.
Devin Williams just had to start wondering when he'd introduce himself into this game, and oh, what a way to do so from deep inside your own half. Interesting. Left winger Martina taking the kickoff.
Not bad shape on that from the number 11. into contact from Sihle Njezula. In the number 23 jersey, Swart. He's hard on the carry, Swart, always straight into the contact. Snyman. Williams standing at first receiver, then Tinus de Beer. They're going to run it from here. Oh, the Pumas, and Apollos can't hold on. Oh, the ambition of the Pumas. Secure, of course, with this scoreline that they have. They have the right to run it. Didn't come off that time for Apollos, and with a 30-point lead, they'll defend a scrum on their own line.
They'll defend a scrum on their own line, and they try to play it from deep. Always risky. Nothing wrong with the passing. Diego Apollos just can't hold on to it. And, well, look who was in front of him. Big man. Paul Lasiki. Bear-like. And visits to opponents 22. Those 6 unable to turn it into points. Pumas with 10. And they've just been so clinical, turning pressure into points and line breaks into points as well now as the game's opening up deep into the second half. But a golden opportunity now for the USA Falcons to get their first try. They've got Paul Lasiki on.
Approach.
And it looks like Chris Martina has taken the number 10 position now from Duncan Voskalvik, the left winger, closer to action.
Here come the Pumas at scrum time. Desperation at the back in the end by Fa'anana Schultz. And here's the difference maker, Lasiki, into the contact.
Never back on side, offside.
Driving the USA forward, a penalty advantage as well. Fa'anana Schultz, he's a massive ball carrier. He's the number 8 for this USA side. Reese plays it to the blind. Going for the line is Chris Martina. He has refused to be denied today. He gets a 5-pointer, the first for the Falcons of the United States.
Yeah, what a result, isn't it? And that's really good work from Chris Martina. Would have been interesting to see him in that fly-off berth a little bit earlier, perhaps, when they were desperate to play some running rugby. But brilliant on his heels. Paul Lasiki. The scrum was going backwards. Really good work from Deval at the base.
Okay, let's do that because both profs are encroaching. Okay.
Here's the work. That's really good work. And look at Lasiki. Steps inside, takes 1 or 2 with him, and it's the quick ball for me. That's the difference here. That's a very smart little pick and go. Fights for the line. Unable to get their desperate defense from the Pumas. That's really good, but once they get quick ball, brilliant play from Chris as well. Coming blind, folding, linking up very nicely with the scrummy Martina and getting over.
Converts his own try, does Martina, the number 11, having just moved to number 10. What a change, what versatility to have in a winger, and he has had a great game on the wing, looking impressive in the 10 as well. Really takes it to the line, as you were saying, Mtunzi. But Tinus de Beer is ready to get us back underway as we're approaching the final 10 minutes of this match. And the Pumas will be desperate to play as much rugby as they possibly can here at the Toyota Stadium. De Beer goes long with the restart. Change of direction from Nate Augsburger. Replacement scrum off for the USA, but he has not replaced the scrum off Ryan Reese. Only 2 backline players on the bench for the USA. I suppose when in South Africa do as the South Africans with the 6-2 split. Reese goes over the top. That one not contestable, out into touch safely. It will be a Pumas line out.
Some big hits. Augsburger, Nate Augsburger, not afraid to put that shoulder in there.
Cap, please.
Snyman was at halfback. The Pumas really looking sharp on attack in the second half. Here is Fouchier. Dynamic ball runner that he is. Snyman to Tinus de Beer, the defense of the Americans slightly bunched up close to the ruck. Apollos, can he get past his man? No, Reese stands up to the challenge, but surely doesn't roll away awfully quickly. No penalty advantage for that. Snyman sets it free, finds Janneke. Snyman to de Beer. Dimaza tackled well, but the looping players from the Pumas presenting opportunities. Brilliant work from Mooneyham on the wing to come inside and shut that down. Snyman takes a big hit. Another big hit on the blind as well.
First one.
USA looked like they were running out of energy a few minutes ago, and that defense would say otherwise.
Yeah, look, when you've got Jamison, Nana Schultz coming off the bench, he's a unit. Replaced Michael Deval. I thought it was, in fact, Deval who picked it up off the line under real pressure. Did so well to get the ball away to his number 9, Ryan Reese, and get over the advantage line was the big man.
Get the gap. Clear gap between the eight, and then we punch on the set.
So Jaco Paper is explaining that they need to watch their spacing.
Control your
and
weight,
focus on the trap foot. Focus on controlling your weight as well.
Crouch. Bind. That's low. I've just asked to take that head away. It's a lot of load going through head onto his shoulder.
So a free kick to the USA.
And Jaco Paper warned Eddie Swart, try and not make contact with the head there.
Launching that one high was Martina, slightly too long for the USA defending line to hit the receiver as he caught the ball in the air, or to contest it in the air preferably, of course, and the Pumas have the opportunity to start in peace with Giovan Snyman.
Use the 9.
He's getting plenty of protection for this box kick.
23.
Jesu goes after that. Martina's underneath. Penalty, surely for offside. But in front of the kicker from the Pumas was Sihle Njezula. So we're going back for a penalty to USA Falcons.
Sigh of relief for the Falcons. There was an accidental offside.
The one that's just line close to the other one, so scramble. Yeah, okay. In front of kicker. It's at 23.
Kicking to the corner, Martina. It's going to be a line out to the USA Falcons. They've got that score to their name already, but how dearly they would love to cross the try line again, and for all the pressure that they've put on. 8 visits to the opposition, 22, 10 points from those visits. It's got to up those numbers.
6.
Yeah, we can see the scoreboard. It was leading by 23 points, but they've conceded only 5 penalties, 10 the Airlink Pumas. It's all about capitalizing. And again, tough one.
Well, the throw was good from the butcher, Dylan Fawcett, but
Anyway.
just not taken, and Fouchier carries it
available.
forward for the Pumas. Outside of their 22, tough one for De Beer to take the cross kick. Not well measured, and Williams can't keep it in. So losing some of their fluidity towards the end of this second half, the Pumas.
Yeah, Cam Dolan just mistiming it there. Puma's front part did enough to just put some hands, distract his line of vision onto the ball, Cam Dolan. But a few meters back, perhaps 15 meters or so, but they'll have a secondary opportunity.
Force it to feed. At the front of the line out, rising high for America, Nasokeke. Here is Lasiki. It's a brilliant tackle. Chopped down by Klaassen.
Pink's got it. Pink's got
Tapped
it.
at the breakdown. Yaku Paper happy with the effort from the Pumas. Kirkwood sends the skip past the scramble defense from USA, covering the field, and Williams heads in the opposite direction. I need someone to set a rack here, the Pumas, and Vian van Niekerk, more than willing. Snyman, De Beer sees an opportunity to kick it over the head of Mitch Wilson. That's a brilliant kick from Tinus De Beer. Getting back in time to provide support to his number 15 is the new number 10, Martina, with the number 11 on his back. Tinus De Beer. It's a wonderful pass with his left hand to Devin Williams, who sees plenty of space to kick into, and he has found that space, executed the kick. He had more distance to work with perhaps, but great stuff from the number 15 for the side in pink.
And that's the danger with having such an attacking player like Devin Williams. He chooses to attack, to link up with Sebastian de Klerk, and there's danger. That's why Tavita Lopetti in that outside channel just can't fall back the outside center. He has to commit, and that space opens up because of it. Mitch Wilson, he's covered grass really well.
Right, let's go.
I mean, the pinpoint accuracy of that touch finder, almost a brilliant 50-22, in fact, just a meter short, Dennis de Beer.
4+.
See that 22 of the USA Falcons having more action in the second half.
Played away by USA. It has not been lacking energy at any moment today, has Moni Tongawai. As the Americans keep coming down the blind here, Reese keeps it moving, playing on the borderline of offsides there. Surely the Pumas, as Leonard makes the tackle. And the red scrum cap, he has really made an impact off the bench. And the biggest ball runner, Fa'anana Schultz, getting knocked backwards.
Stop in front.
Eventually, while they are backtracking, Martina chooses to kick the ball downfield as the Pumas are really punishing this Falcon side in defense. Tinus de Beer takes it into contact.
Ball out.
Kwanda Dimaza. Great ball carry from Dimaza, gets it away to Edwin Swart. Swart to Sneeman. Perfectly timed tackle from Augsburger. He's in over the ball and wins the penalty for the Falcons.
On his feet, trying to get it.
Yeah, he's been impressive. Tavite Lopetti, brilliant covering to catch Giovan Sneeman. And what a ball it was as well to Eddie Swart, pirouetting with one hand to take that. It's been so good, Swart. Very good ball runner, especially in the loose. But a solid scramble defense as well from this USA Falcon side. Strong work against Sneeman. Two big men working back very well, and that's brilliant. Lasiki and Lopetti. Leonard causing problems, asking some questions. He's keen to get up. Got three options there with Kirkwood and Dimaza. Splitting the line out are the Falcons. Cam Dolan, the general. Trick and very well worked one.
They hit the front again, and the USA Falcons onto the attack.
Release.
Augsburger, who's been looking fresh off the bench. Tongawea into contact again, and the number 7 has retained his energy on the ball carry into the second half.
Release.
Diego Apollos affecting the tackle, must release eventually. Reese gets it away. Dolan with a sharp offload before contact to Corey Daniel. Reese plays blind to Fa'anana Schultz. Great hands to the outside from Lopetti, and the Americans get what they deserve. Connor Mooneyham, he's in the corner. Great play, great persistence. Another 5-pointer for the traveling side.
They've stuck in this game. I think a true test for them. This is the exact kind of game Gary Gold would have hoped for. And the Airlink Pumas have really kept them honest here. They've had to keep working all the way to the end of this fixture. Yaku Paper has really allowed for a good flow. Both sides have made some mistakes, but take a look at the soft hands, draw and pass. Lopetti, so impressive. Mooneyhall keeping his depth and his width nicely. He deserves a try. Connor Mooneyhall. Patience, Ryan Reese has been so impressive. There the big man is as well. Fa'anana Schultz, and putting away Connor Mooneyham.
Oh, good on them. Great effort from the USA Falcons all the way to the end. They know what they're playing for. Their challenge does not end here, heading for the World Cup qualifiers. Now for the extra 2. Sliding that one wide. Chris Martina. He's really enjoying himself in Bloemfontein.
Yeah, look, not a bad option to bring in at the last 20 minutes of a game. If you're looking to play some attacking rugby, is a great option for Gary Gold. It must be said, they've played some good rugby, this USA Falcons side, and it'll be a totally different game if the Airlink Pumas weren't so good at just punishing the opposition for their mistakes.
Martinez de Beer goes short, goes central. The Pumas up after this. Brilliantly taken out of the air by the Vanilla Gorilla. Etienne Janeke takes it to ground. Snyman away now to Vian van Niekerk. The Pumas securing possession just before the hooter. A hooter to signify the end of the second half. That deemed to be a knock-on by our experienced man with the whistle, Yaku Pepo, calls an end to this match. Tunzi Fudge Mabeta, born in the USA, break that one down for us.
Yeah, look, they can be proud of their performance here. The Currie Cup champions, I mean, no slouches, a really well-balanced side. They pride themselves on their set piece, and you know what? In this final Toyota Challenge game for the USA Falcons, I think they got a win here, and they'll be going up to Dubai with their tails up. Brilliant performance, leaving it all out there. Tonga Weha, so impressive. Ryan Reese, definitely some boxes have been ticked, and a positive result for them. Never mind the scoreboard. Pumas, 5 tries, 33 points. The USA Falcons in the end, good performance too, with just 15 at full time.
Has truly been entertaining, and this match no different. Plenty of highlights to enjoy. I suppose the nature of the match could be described as the USA Falcons really enjoying the majority of possession territory, playing the right kind of rugby in the first half, but not getting the points that they needed. Just the 3 points in the bag, and all of a sudden the Pumas hit them with a couple of tries, and the scoreboard doesn't look too good. But the USA Falcons can be proud of what they've done here today, the improvements they've made between the Cheetahs match and this one here against the Pumas. Very impressive indeed. And here is how one of the tries got going. Devin Williams, a dangerous runner, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And look, I think Chris Martina, the work to try and get back and catch him there, no easy feat. Good little 1-2, Devin Williams punishing them again from their own 22. And this was brilliant as well. Fine, Anna Schultz moving backwards. But when you've got a big bear like him, Lasiki, get over the advantage line, quick ball. If they had a little bit of more quick ball, I think it would have been a different game as well. It was difficult. Airlink Pumas did enough at ruck time to make it come out slowly, but Chris Martina switching has a mismatch there with Swart, does well to sort of swivel his hips, move inside, and that was a good try from them. Ryan Reese, so impressive. Nice, Chris. Fine, Anna Schultz choosing the right options, draw and pass. That's the kind of rugby you want to see, making the right decisions, executing. He was really good. Mooneyham, rather. Very impressive.
Hey, Mooneyham was money today, Mtunzi, and he got his try in the end. Both wings doing really well, and Martina as well. And in the end, that's the full-time score from Toyota Stadium in Bloemfontein. The City of Roses continues to entertain. We've got another match coming your way featuring the Cheetahs and the Griquas. For now, it is the Pumas who have won by 33 points to 15 against the USA Falcons.
Wow.